Alright guys, what's up? Welcome back to the Conflict of Nick channel. I'm your host Nick, and this is going to be part 5 of the Iranian Incursion series. Now, in the last video, you guys saw combat with Serbia and a lot of German forces in Serbia. Now, a lot happened off screen. I wasn't able to record all of it, but you will be surprised to know that I can recall everything that has happened so far, and I will do so. And I'll start by showing you guys everything we've conquered. All of Europe is in our hands, basically. There's some random Polish troops scattered. Finland is going to be on the list for Israel and Saudi Arabia, Egypt. And we're getting that taken care of, basically. So we are basically finished with France. France lost all of his homeland, and I will get to what's going on here in a minute. And that's basically what happened. The EU coalition fell really fast. Belarus was helping them, and he met his fate similar to them. And it was not a good idea that he helped them, because it resulted in him getting demolished by our entire coalition. So, if I can get these to move here, let me explain exactly what happened off camera. So, we finished right about here, northern Serbia, and we went straight for Austria as planned. And Austria, he kind of surrendered, but he put all his units to defend his capital, and he had them in multiple stacks. And we brought our multiple rocket launchers in our Air Force of, I think it was like 25 or 30 back then, and we just completely destroyed everything. He had, I think, 20 to 30 units here in total. He had about 10 to 15 aircraft, which were all shot down by my anti-aircraft, my SAM launchers, and my mobile AA, and he fell relatively easily. Germany didn't have much in his homeland, obviously because he had most of it on the front line, and Belarus actually was brave enough to send a couple attacks through Kazakhstan and the Caucasus, which we had conquered very early game. He had no anti-aircraft, and so our jets made quick and easy work of those units. And Belarus tried to also counterattack in Europe, and that failed. And I think he had about 15 units in his capital, and they were all destroyed earlier today. So, by my Air Force of, I think, 40 now. It was beautiful. I'm sorry you guys missed it. I just couldn't record it all. France had really dangerous stacks. He had some multiple rocket launchers, and he also had SAM launchers and max level infantry and a lot of ships. But our multiple rocket launchers, thankfully, since they're level 4, they outranged his because they were, I believe, level 1 or 2, because he was just starting that research. So that was relatively easy for us to do. As you guys can see, Paris is flattened. The ground is scorched in the game map because it was at population 1. It got bombarded, as well as Calais and most of the other cities, as well as Bordeaux. So they fell relatively easily, and now we're getting into the interesting part of the game. So, while France is being cleaned up, as well as this Austrian territory, there is one last contender that we've been talking about for quite some time in the series, and who would have guessed? You probably already did. It is South America. Now, South America is going to be much more dangerous than our European counterparts. Why, you ask? Well, look at some of the intel we got. So, Brazil is researching max level multiple rocket launchers and producing them, and researching level 7 either MBTs or armored fighting vehicles, and a level 3 health point upgrade. So the max level MBTs or AFVs, I can tell because it's the urban survival kit upgrade. You saw the icon, and what that means is that this upgrade allows tanks to not have a debuff for attack and defense in suburban or city areas. But the most concerning part of that is the multiple rocket launchers. But One thing that we do have going for us is that we completely outproduce them in resources and units, which is really good. We have another fresh 10 stack here, and we're going to have a radar coming to it as well. We're going to have that, and we're going to have multiple mobile anti-aircrafts to protect them. And we've already got a couple stacks here, and we're staging in Africa right now on the Peruvian and Brazilian border. Now they're very close to us. Morocco has actually had a stack that's been kind of hit and running, and he's been coming back to the safety of the Egyptian border because they really don't want to start war with us because they just saw how fast we took the EU. So they've been also trying to take part of Spain, like greedy little buttheads, but they haven't taken too much more after that. Now, obviously they could take more if they wanted, because our main goal isn't really to take all of that mountain terrain in Spain right now. We're setting up our defenses actually for the inevitable African front war. Now, one thing that we do have going for us, as you guys can see, is we've got two areas of 20 fighters patrolling, 20 here and then 20 here in what was Algerian territory, or Niger territory. And we've got multiple rocket launchers, as you can see, on the way, and we've got another large stack on the way. And what is that going to allow us to do? It's going to allow us to detect the enemy units on the border, possibly with our radars. And it's also going to allow us to have that sort of early defense in case they decide to attack us now. We have gotten intel that they're staging on the border a little bit. We have seen some heavy stack. This is just a random Congolese unit that we're still finishing up. He took some random provinces here, and we're cleaning up the rest of Africa, cleaning up all the wars. And South Africa is on the list. Free territory, free cities, free resources. And Australia is one last major player in this game. He was an ally in case things went bad, and hopefully we don't have to skirmish with him. If need be, we will sadly have to, but he's been a good sport, and I don't think he's going to go into combat with us unless he joins the South American forces. So Asia is all cleaned up. Africa is pretty much all cleaned up. We're finishing some stuff here. It looks dirty right now. Europe is basically fully occupied and conquered, so we've got that all settled, and that's basically what's going on now. So as far as research, we now have theater defense systems research. We've got level 3 radar, level 4 SAMs, we're about to get the Tunguska, and we're about to get the 9A52-4 Tornado, or aka just max level multiple rocket launchers. And one other thing we've gotten that will be very, very, very important is cruise missiles. Now this is very important because we don't have to build new warheads, and we are going to use these missiles to attack enemy unit stacks. And if you look at nuclear cruise missile damage at max level, 100 to every unit. 100 to infantry, 100 to hard targets, 100 to ships, and 100 to planes and helicopters on the ground. This 100 damage does not mean it will cause damage to flying aircraft. It means if they are landed at an airport or refueling, etc., they will receive this kind of damage. So it does overall damage of 100, and it has 15 HP, so it's way more it's way harder to shoot these down with anti-aircraft. If you don't have SAM launchers, you're most likely not going to shoot them down, and they're going to inflict a lot of casualties because I know they will not have anti-air in every stack, and we're going to have so many potential strike opportunities. I'm going to spread my jets out here a little bit. We're going to have so many opportunities to try and shoot these missiles at people because of all these strike fighters we have. We're organizing my fighters a little bit here. Give me a moment. There we go. We'll spread them out a little bit. so that they don't get all shot down if they decide to attack us. So, but yeah, we're going to have a lot of opportunities to shoot our missiles at our enemies because of all these strike fighters we have. They can launch one cruise missile each, and each of these stacks, because we're doing max level strike fighters, is going to do 45 damage anyway. So besides the missiles, they're going to wreak complete havoc on unprepared land stacks, as well as aircraft if we absolutely need to. Brazil is going for helicopters, so they'll be used against those potentially. And our anti-aircraft is meant for all types of aircraft. We've got mobile AA, which will take down helicopters, especially really easily, and planes. SAM launchers to take down planes and missiles, and theater defenses to defend our homeland from potential ICBM or ballistic missile attacks. So we're pretty much covered on all fronts. We don't really have any weaknesses right now besides our lack of a navy, but that's what all of our brothers in arms are accounting for. Saudi Arabia has a defensive navy, of course, a level 1 destroyers, but it's still that good buffer. We can see when an attack is coming, where it's coming from, and we can respond accordingly. We've got a large air force, and they can do something. Now, what I might end up doing, probably instead of actual ships, is go for naval patrol aircrafts. Now, these naval patrol aircrafts are really good because max level, they do 14 damage to ships and 8 to subs. So in a 5 stack, they'll do 40 to submarines, and they'll do about 70 to ships. Now that alone is amazing. But other things they have that are great is they have a combat radius of 3,500. That is huge. They can basically go anywhere. They have 25 HP. They're slow. That is one of their only weaknesses, is that they're slow. But they make up for it with their radar range. They have a radar range of 200, and this radar detects submarines and ships, so you'll be able to see any naval contacts or vessels in a very large radius. And it's because it's sonar, it will detect submarines, and it reveals stealth obviously of submarines, and it can launch 2 cruise missiles per plane. That is awesome, and it's very easy to manage resource wise, and so we're definitely going to be going for those. So that'll be very important to have in our arsenal. So that's basically what's going on now. We're going to get some missile protection up, and now we're going to begin staging against our last enemy in this game, the South American Coalition. They're very strong. They've got some large cities with a lot of stuff in them. Brazil is finally starting to build up some of these cities that he hadn't before, and Brazil is really dangerous. He's making multiple level 4 army bases, and so we need to be very careful here. Peru and them they're all active, so we're gonna need to play our cards right here and be very, very, very careful, and we're hopefully gonna be able to take this game down as a win. We've got our navy, as I said. I don't think I finished that, but we've got the Israeli navy of destroyers, and that'll be really good because we got intel that they're going for submarines. And we've also got the Egyptian Navy. I'm not sure where it is because there's a lot of units on the screen. But, oh yeah, it's right there. We have a lot of Egyptian ships. If you guys look, he has 12 cruisers, 2 destroyers, and an officer right here. And that is just one part of his navy, so that's huge. So overall, I think we have a solid chance to take this game down. We have a very tough foe at the end. And so we're going to use our advantage, like I said. It's day 30 and we got our economy statistics. The largest economy in the world is us at 60,000 tons. Saudi Arabia at 51,000 tons. Egypt at 44.5. Australia coming in 4th at 37 tons. Now we outdo them a lot, and that should help us to have an absolute advantage, and we're going to wait to attack at the right moment, or we will be attacked. They might attack us. That's completely fine. No matter what they do, we'll be ready for it. We have a lot of planes here. We got land stacks moving on the way. And so we will be able to hopefully take this down and fight the South American Coalition and have a victory. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you're enjoying the series. More importantly, it's been a very fun series. It's been super, super, super fun to play and to watch. So guys, I hope you've enjoyed the series and the video. As I said, If you liked the video, please leave a like. If you hated it, leave a dislike. If you have a comment, if you have a question, something you want to say about the video, something I can improve, please leave a comment on the video. It helps me. I read all of them. Subscribe to the channel. Consider subscribing if you want to. It helps the channel out. It helps the algorithm. It helps my channel grow, and it shows me that you guys support the channel and like the series and like what I'm doing. So that's going to conclude part 5 of the Iranian incursion, and this series will probably have more than likely at least 1 to 2 more parts, maybe 3. So guys, I'll catch you in the next one, and have a great day. I will see you all later. Peace.